New reporting indicates that a secret donor gave a considerable amount of money to help promote Neil Gorsuch on the Supreme Court. In fact, this donation also had a lot to do with the fact that Merrick Garland was blocked from being confirmed as the Supreme Court justice that would replace Antonin Scalia. Now, according to this reporting, last year alone, an organization known as the Wellspring Committee gave $23 million to the Judicial Crisis Network, which in turn spent $7 million on materials opposing Garland. After President Donald Trump was elected, JCN, which is also known as the Judicial Crisis Network, spent another $10 million in pro-Gorsuch ads. So here's what we know so far about these two organizations. First off, last year was a very lucrative and profitable year, well, lucrative year for Wellspring, as they raised more than twice as much money than in the previous year, or any previous year. This is largely thanks to one anonymous donor who gave $28.5 million. So we don't know exactly who that donor is because of their status. They are exempt, or they don't have to disclose who their donors are. They're not required to because they're considered a social welfare organization.
Funny.
Yeah, but here's another component of the story that's relevant. Neil Corkery, who is, Neil Corkery, who is listed as Wellspring's president on their tax return, is a former Judicial Crisis Network treasurer, and also his wife Ann also served as Wellspring president. So there's a lot of inner dealings going on over there.
Okay, so let me break this down. So they, in a sense, bought the Supreme Court seat. Now I say they because we don't know who the anonymous donor is. So here's what we know. And this is exactly what dark money is. They set up an organization that under tax law is called a social welfare organization. Do they help the poor, the needy, etc.? No, they don't do any of that. They do deeply political things like buy a Supreme Court seat. Because no one's at home in our government when it comes to the rich and the powerful, they never get investigated. The IRS never investigates them, the FEC never investigates them. So this anonymous donor who wanted to buy a Supreme Court seat gives $28.5 million to Wellspring. Wellspring's nonsense. They don't do anything but buy Supreme Court seats apparently, because they spent almost all their money on this issue, as Anna just laid out for you, okay? So what do? They then transfer it to the Judicial Crisis Network, who then puts in all this money to influence Republicans to make sure that they block Merrick Garland for a year. Merrick Garland was Obama's appointee. Now normally, the Senate is supposed to give advice and consent. The president appoints, and then they, in a timely manner, have to give advice and consent. And the Republicans said, no, we're not gonna do our job. We don't care. We're gonna obstruct him for as long as it takes. Now, it turns out that they were, in essence, getting paid to do that, because we've legalized bribery in this country. So in the form of lobbying, campaign contributions, independent expenditures, all coming from this one guy who wanted to buy a Supreme Court seat, and we let him. So they block Garland with $7 million, and then when Gorsuch comes in, they're like, that's the guy we wanted. Now remember, Gorsuch, the one thing he's most known for, not right wing or left wing, although he's massively right wing, no, he's known more for being enormously pro-corporate. So there's a famous case where a trucker was gonna freeze to death. Every other judge that saw that case said he's allowed to drive home so he doesn't die, not Gorsuch. Gorsuch said, no, he must obey the corporation no matter what. And the corporation said, that's our guy, that's our guy. He'll let us actually not murder, that's not fair. He'll let our employees die. He'll let us do anything. That's the guy. That's why Gorsuch was selected in the first place. And this secret dark money is going around influencing these politicians. And it worked. They bought themselves a Supreme Court seat. What kind of an insane system allows this dark money and allows this legalized bribery? We don't have a democracy. These people have captured our government. If you don't get the money out, we're doomed. They're gonna buy the next seat. And this one worked. It was a proof of concept.
I know.
They got a great return on investment. For what? Is it because that the dark money donor cares about abortion? Maybe, I don't know. Nobody knows who he is, right? Or it could be that he cares about making sure employees get paid less. He makes sure, or it could be that he wants to make sure there's no work safety regulations, because they cut corners on safety and maybe their workers die. But hey, they needed to buy a Supreme Court seat and they did.
They did, and look, I think one of the main reasons why people vote the way they do in general elections for whatever candidates are available is, okay, well, this person is likely to nominate a Supreme Court justice, right? You hear that argument time and time again. And regardless of where you are in the ideological spectrum, this should concern you, because this means that regardless of who you elect as president, we have a system that's so corrupt that Congress can be bought and they can go ahead and be obstructionists when it comes to the hearings and confirming these individuals as Supreme Court justices. I mean, it doesn't matter what you do as a voter. What really matters is what corporate interests want and how they can use their influence in the form of millions of dollars to have members of Congress make decisions that they like.
So, give you more context. The Republicans in the last 2 years, not just Merrick Garland, blocked 100 judges that Obama put into place. They only let 22 go through in the last 2 years. In the first year of Trump, they've already okayed 59 justices to go through. So almost 3 times as much in half the time. Because why? Because some guy decided, hey, I'm going to auction off these seats. Now, do you think that that guy's doing it for his health? Or could it be that he's going to financially gain from the decisions that Gorsuch is gonna make? So guess what, guys? And if you're a right winger and you're snickering like, we bought a seat, we're the corrupt party, that's awesome, congratulations. But remember this, George Soros, Mike Bloomberg, etc., also have a lot of money. So what we've now done is we've started an auction for Supreme Court seats. So the next time there's a Supreme Court seat, one guy on the right wing is gonna put in 20 million or 100 million or a bunch of guys, and then some people on the left are gonna, and it's all dark money and we can't see it, they're gonna put in 20, 100, 200 million dollars, and we're gonna have an auction for the Supreme Court seat.
Yeah, again, I know that we're incredibly divided right now, but you have to put your political ideology aside for a second and just think about whether or not you value the democratic process. Because if you value democracy, then this should upset you, again, regardless of what your political ideology is. If this had happened, if the shoe was on the other foot and it was Democrats doing this, I would be just as outraged by it, because it means that our democracy doesn't matter. It doesn't even work, it's not functioning. Corporate interests reign supreme in this case. So
sometimes people ask, hey, Wolfpack's to get money out of politics, but hey, are you guys really gonna get union money out and Soros money out? Of course we are. I don't want Soros buying the elections. I don't want the unions buying the elections, and I don't want corporations to buy elections. The right wingers are always like, oh, politicians are corrupt. I agree with you, brother. I got an important question for you. Who corrupted them? Yeah, Rush Limbaugh never talks about that, right? There's a guy behind the curtain buying these politicians, and usually it's a corporation. And so I care about the corrupted politicians. I also care about the people corrupting them. Get all the money out, wolf-pack.com. Look, you don't want to support Wolfpack, you want to support a different organization, bless your heart. But they're actually fighting to get you change, to bring back democracy. Unfortunately, at this point, America has become almost literally the most corrupt country in the world. Why do I say that? That sounds like an outrageous statement if you're watching television. They tell you everything is totally fine. No, the reason why there's a revolt and a revolution both on the right and the left is because we legalized bribery. All the other countries, you have to actually break the law and make sure you don't get caught, and if you do, you'll go to jail. We just said, no, it's okay. You could put in millions of dollars, hundreds, billions of dollars into politicians' campaigns, do it in independent expenditures, do this lobbying, and it's now called legal. Watch the Young Turks commercial-free, download it or stream it, watch it any way you like at tytnetwork.com/join.